Yo, what's up guys? My name is Blackybear and today we're talking about Fafnir's Nest, floor 11. So this is the rune dungeon you'll be farming in the beginning of the game as soon as you can basically, because you get all the good runes here. The basic runes. You get obviously Vampire, but we get Swift and we get Havoc, Fatal and Energy. These runes are the bread and butter of most of the units in the beginning of the game. Obviously Sealed Armory is good as well, mainly for the earthquake runes and for the counter runes. The other three are not so relevant. So Fafnir's Net is actually the best place to go in the beginning, but how do you defeat it? So I'm gonna give you three different tactics to defeat it. The first one is gonna be the most easiest and simplest, the beginner one. If you have an Ingwe, you can go with an Ingwe, and you can go in Ingwe, and that's it. You can add some units to it to make it a bit more fast. But if you don't, for example, if you don't have any other units, it's just Ingwe and he goes and does the job. I'll show you the runes right now in the run, and yeah, this is the run that we can do solo with Ingwe. He needs a certain rune cap, but he does not need skill ups. On Vampire he would actually be a little bit better, because if he's not a Vampire it might not always go 100% safe, but he can solo this. On counter runes, yeah, if you can put a set on him, even if it's not the best runes, counter runes are just gonna help you clear it faster, because every time he gets attacked he can counter, and he transfers all the debuffs back, which is great, but he does the job. He is a really insane solo potential unit. So this is basically the beginner way to clear this dungeon, but obviously the run will take some time. Let's fast forward for the run and get on to the next upgrade. So these are the runes I run on him. The earthquake set is not necessary, but the counter set is very useful. Even if you don't have the greatest counter runes, just put two of them in there and then just add a vampire rune set or swift rune set onto him. He will keep himself alive because of nature's paradox, which gives him recovery for multiple targets he hits. He gets recovery, so he basically keeps himself alive. And the first skill transfer dots, which makes it possible to kill the boss even though he doesn't do DPS. Yeah, so having him counterattack even more, I mean he does counterattack on his own, but with the counter revenge set it will help, and this will make the run possible for him to solo. And there we go! We got Fafnir down. It took me only 5 minutes, but you get some good runes if you get lucky, right? This was not a great rune, but hey. As you see, 5 minutes, it's a very long run, I understand that, but it is a safe run and it gets you into Fafnir 11. So it's a good option if you're free, or if you're starting out of the game. That's a great option, great beginner option. So now we have been playing a bit and we got more runes, got more units. We want to up the game, you know, want to make this run not super slow anymore. So what you can do to speed run, well, not to speed run this, but to upgrade your speed on the run, is using a Tia. Tia is a very strong unit for this, and she actually has a leader skill as well, so that helps. It gives more attack, and then those two together really do a great job, because Tia can actually get anything going. After that you can add even more units to it, like just basic DPS units that can do some clearing on the waves. For example, I'm gonna show you some sick, not max level units, so we're gonna use I don't know, I don't want to use anything too overpowered, so I'm trying to figure out, like for example Valkyrie. Valkyrie is also a daughter, so she is definitely something that you can use as well. And we have Freya. So for example, this is a team that you could use. Now if I would use Freya, I would go for a speed lead, And the whole idea behind this team is that they do dots, and if everything fails, Igwe can finish off the job. When we check the rune quality, it's not really necessary to have the same quality because it's all about accuracy and survivability. So this girl is on Earthquake and it's an attack build, but this is not necessary at all. It's more about Tia, that she has a good amount of accuracy and high speed. That's it. Really, that's it. I mean, I got HP, speed, accuracy. If you can do that on a Swift set, you're good to go. And the Valkyrie is also crappy runed, also the same way, crit, speed, and accuracy. So there we go, we also cleared this time around, but this time we didn't take ages, we took quite a long run still. But it came down to 3 minutes 44 seconds. So a next thing you can do to make it a bit more faster after this is to up your game by clearing the waves faster and just using Tia for the boss. I'm going to show you the run as well, so that will be the following. So now you just take units instead of anything to clear waves. One good example is a Mary. Reason being, Mary is craftable, so you should be able to get her. And so she's a good wave clearer. And for example, a Media will also help because Media is a 4-star. But if you don't have a Media and you need to choose something else, for example, you could use Hildegard. If you don't have a Hildegard yet crafted, you can use anything else, but at least a damage dealing type of unit. So the runes I use on Mary is not necessarily to have this quality, you can go with worse. It's all about clearing the waves faster. So every AoE damage dealer or single target damage dealer that does a decent damage chunk of health of them will help you improve your runtime. And there we go, we got another run done, and let's see if it's actually that much faster, because I don't think it's super fast, but it shaped up quite something, and I think this run can be even faster. So now we're gonna move on to actually a speed run of Fafnir Nest, and yeah, then we go a little bit more in depth on how to do that. But first, let's switch up the team. So when we run a speed team, we don't want to use Ingwe and all that kind of stuff, but we actually want to make sure that we clear the wave. So I use an AoE damage breaker, and I use Mary and Media to clear the waves, and Esperanza to take in damage. And I want to show you the run on full auto first, and then I'll talk about the extra, the break down the comp, so to say. So what will happen, I will do, sometimes it comes out better, but whatever. She moves in, then Media goes in, kind of clears half of the wave, and Mary finishes off. This is the first 15 seconds so when I'm in the second round. And now I'm kind of, this is always annoying when she doesn't do, or he doesn't do his right skill, but that's okay. It will take a bit more time, but it's okay. And now he calls his zombies, and now my AoE damage dealers are gonna move. So this is why I like that so much, because my damage dealers kind of clear up some of the zombies. Not always directly, but they sometimes, if it works out well, they clear them like instantly when they summoned, and that's really nice. So now we get I flick Brad back up, get the armor break on, and now it's pretty much done. I mean, it's not gonna last much longer. Now it a little bit depends on how annoying the boss can be sometimes, but I think I kill him before he moves again. Yeah, definitely. There we go. And that's the run. Pretty quick. Relatively, well, relatively it's reliable, but your room quality needs to be good enough to do this. So the run was taken, I think, 110. Yeah, 110. The fastest I got was 50 seconds, but then everything goes perfect. But the average is around 1 minute to 1 minute 20. So it's pretty good. So what I want to show you guys, when I go back into one of the runs and we break down the real setup, what happens is we're not going to auto, we're going to stop that. So, and we're going to look at one of these guys. So if you check their speed, this is 116 and the zombies are 131. So you need to make sure that the zombies do not move before your DPS. On the first round it's important so you can clear them, and on the second round it's important so you can kill. There are ways that you can even, if you go even faster, you could maybe go for outspeeding the boss. But then after that, basically my Esperanza moves in, kills one of the units, and with armor break, then he moves in again, and Media and Mary will move and kind of clear out the rest of the units. This will, I will show you, she will do Spirit Blades. It's not ideal, I must say, but it's not bad because increased my reduced cooldown. And then on the second run, if you check again, if you wanted to go before the boss with your complete team, you need to be above 164, which is quite a lot, and that's hard to obtain, especially if you want to do high damage unit. It's hard to obtain on all your units. It's not too hard, but you will have to sacrifice some damage. So what I did, I made sure I was faster than the zombies at my damage dealers that do AoE attacks, so that when I move now, so he goes in, if I'm lucky he does this skill, if I'm unlucky he doesn't. She moves in, she just starts working on the zombies because she can't reach the boss. And now he summons dots and then he summons zombies, and then all the zombies are here. But now I can get to move, and every time I hit, I also hit the zombies. And again, I can move, so she will be doing something like this or that, I don't know exactly what the AI will do, but something like this will happen. Then some of the zombies that do live move, he will do his skill, reduce the attack gauge, and he will move in. Most likely would do this AoE and kills one of the zombies as collateral damage. He will just move again. She will just move again. She will just move again. As you can see, I'm not doing this on the ideal, and then but the thing I'm trying to show you guys is that the zombies are dying while I'm going for the boss. And if you make them, if your units are slower, they won't do that so well, because then they move and it will take some more time, and then he kills the boss. Obviously the run now takes forever because I slowed it down while checking, but that's the whole idea behind it. So let's have a look at the units and how they're ruined real quick. Do you need exact these units? No, you do not. But for the team setup, you need a specific set of skills, basically. So I think Apophis is one of the best units out there for what he does when it comes to reduce damage and reduce speed, which may also reduce defense and speed. So I do more damage on the boss, and he doesn't move as much. He is my fastest unit, and he will move before. He is ruined for damage mainly. So crit, speed, and attack. So that's why you don't see him on max accuracy, but the most important part is that this actually lands. So a little bit more accuracy would be nice, but the extra damage helps with killing the boss. My Esperanza is the second one to move. I could say she can move later, but when she moves a second one, she can kill one of the units and make a spot free for the other units to take, so they can reach the units. Because if she don't kill the first wave with one unit, then it's possible that some unit gets stuck and that it won't move and attack at all. So she's just on a crit damage speed attack. And yeah, then we got Medea. So Medea is pretty much insane because she has element advantage over everyone and reduces attack gauge all the time. And this Frost Storm does insane amount of damage. So what is good to know about Medea is her speed. Her speed is a bit faster than the ads, so she will move before them. So the first wave I can clear in 15 seconds or 10, really reliable. She's on crit damage, attack, and attack. And then Mary goes after that for clearing up the wave, the leftovers, so to say. And again, she's just one speed above the units, but she has to be exactly at that higher speed so she can move. Often she kills with Spirit Blast, which is not bad because it reduces the cooldown of everyone, but it's kind of sad to use this whole skill. I tried scaling her up because I wanted to upgrade this to 2 turns cooldown instead of 3, but didn't get it, so I just got some extra damage on her. And that's it, guys. That's the whole guide to Fafnir 11 from beginner to endgame. I think my teams can definitely get faster, 100%. But this is how I'm farming. It's 100% reliable for me, so that's really nice, and I farm it pretty fast. So yeah, that's the video, and I hope you guys learned something from it or got something from it. If you got any tips or anything you want to share with me, leave the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!